I went with the metal roof. Me and wife decided on it because of the durability, the aesthetics of it. It looks good from the curb, and it's also better fire rating, right? So you get a discount on your premium on your insurance. Well, actually, I think Durden Roof Care chose me. I was at my sister's neighborhood over the bay, and I saw them do an install on what I didn't know at the time. It was an old coworker of mine, and they were finishing up his house, and I went over there and I got their business card because, like I told you earlier, we were considering getting a new roof, and I liked what they were doing over there. And so I actually got to go behind the scenes and see their job after they were finished, since I knew the owner. And he had nothing but praises, and they did a wonderful job for him. So about a month later, they came to my house, and I had the business card, and we went from there. The install process went pretty flawless. I sat down, I talked to Brittany, we talked about colors, we talked about different styles, patterns, rib design. As you can tell, I went with a seamless roof, which doesn't show the nail heads on your standard metal roofs. She answered all my questions very professionally. The install, like I said, it went flawless. I had two issues, but it wasn't Durden Company's fault. It was actually the color. They had trouble. I was very specific on my color because I wanted it to match my garage and my shutters. I didn't want to have to repaint them. So I went with what they call a dark bronze, and her normal supplier, they didn't have the color. So Brittany, she goes above and beyond for the customer. She called another supplier, I believe in Montgomery, and they were able to locate it. And so she took care of that for me. And then when the panels actually came in, again, not Durden's fault, the deliverer, they had two panels that had just two small imperfections in them that I wasn't satisfied with. Brittany again stepped up, took care of it, made a phone call. They had the replacement panels here in about 2 or 3 days, and they swapped it out. So Juan, the supervisor, he answered all my questions. When he was out here the day they showed up, I came out here. Of course, I was part of the process. I wanted to see how it all went down. Nobody really looks forward to having a new roof put on just because of the mess, right? And I'm a little OCD. As you can see, my yard, it looks manicured and stuff, so I was really concerned about that. And Juan put my concerns at ease when they came out here. Not only was one side or two sides, but all 4 sides of my house was covered on the ground with about 30 to 40 feet of tarp. And that just made the cleanup process so much easier. I was very impressed with that. I've never seen that in any other roofing company. And my electric bill actually confirms that. It's come down significantly from having an asphalt roof. As far as curb appeal, I listened for like 2 months after install. Every time I cut my yard or walk my neighborhood with my dog, I've had neighbors come up to me, just complimenting me on my roof, telling me, how beautiful it looks, the color, the pattern design we picked out. So that just confirms that me and my wife were, we did the right thing. There's one thing I'd like to point out that Durden Roof Company does that no other roofing company that I know of does, and they're an advocate for the customer, right? They actually have their people go up on the roof with your insurance adjuster and show them their findings. So not only, the old school, you would have one person up there, your adjuster, one set of eyes. With Durden Roof, you have 3 sets of eyes. So they are an advocate for you, the homeowner. And that's just something that they do that just, to me, has raised the bar in that industry that you just don't see. I would most definitely recommend Durden Care to everybody. And then listen, when it's a major project like a roof, because that is your biggest expense on your house, right? I always encourage people to get several quotes, but just make sure that Durden Roof Company is one of those that you put on your list.